It started when I saw deadmau5, one of my idols. He'd posted something, I think it was a Monomi, like this really cool controller. I really liked the way that he was making like sequences and beats on this thing. So I looked up controllers and stumbled upon the Launchpad. I started like importing samples from other artists or maybe tracks that I'd made and taking very small fragments and putting that into my drum rack. And that's when I did my first Skrillex mashup. I posted it in an email to the guys in Novation. You chucked it on your socials, and that's when people started noticing my YouTube channel. And I think it was backing it up then with Weapon. It just went viral, it just went crazy, and it's definitely been the most successful video I've put out. How's that? Cool. The hardware I use is there to work for me, and to be able to modify it and break the rules, that's exciting. Hey, Nick.
Matt.
Nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure. How's it going, guys?
I've got 4 launch pads, and they all work separately to one another. I want to essentially make a super launch pad. So imagine if my entire Ableton session was 256 buttons without having to scroll any direction but down or up.
You can have a strip or something on the side and you can scroll down.
Exactly. The cool thing too is in user 1 when I'm launching my samples, if they could launch visuals and CO2 and confetti blasters.
As long as we have the data that's coming off of here, we can do whatever we want with it.
Utilising technology and using it incorrectly. And using it not just how it says on the back of the box, thinking of ways to use it maybe to change things up and maybe be so different that others can't follow. That's what I want to do.
So you want to give me like 4 of those sounds?
Yep. At the supermassive space, we just reconfigured a PlayStation 4 controller to do a filter pass on our master audio.
This is so cool, man.
We filmed it on Instagram, and then, a couple of hours later, blogs are retweeting and commenting and writing up on what we'd done. It just goes to show how quickly, those little packets of information can be sort of extrapolated into an entire blog.
The first ever controller launchpad jam in history of time.
We just made history. My social media doesn't define me as an artist. I'm not going to tweet what I had for breakfast, but I am going to let my fans know when something big's about to happen. There is no off period, ever, on the internet. That's the problem. People are constantly hungry for something. And even when you have spent 3 months making a launchpad video and you put it up, a week later they're ready for the next one. Twitter and Instagram, they're small, quick, easy ways to interact with my fans and to let them know what I'm doing. When I was younger, I had a piano at my house, similar to this one. And Mum could play, and so from an early age I used to listen to Mum playing, and I always wanted to play with her, so she taught me a few bits that I could play while she would play. For me, the Launchpad is my platform and my workstation to get the most out of my music. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Launchpad. The entire journey is based on what the Launchpad has done for me. And I'm constantly making the Launchpad do things that I want it to do. With a physical instrument, you can only do so much. These keys will only sound like a piano. Where with the Launchpad, I can do anything I want. And there was a rant from deadmau5 about DJs being glorified button pushers. We all hit play once and then it's like parading around on stage with your arms in the air, and it's like, well, that's not how I make music, and it's definitely how I wouldn't perform music. Like, what I do in the studio is exactly what I want to do up on stage. It's always going to be about, the interaction with the crowd and for them to see me really working hard. I am so fortunate to have the right people jump on board. People believe in what I'm doing, and that is just such a humbling feeling.
The stuff for your project, you got that figured out. Get comfortable in this arena, doing a little and letting it be.
I met Miles the first time I went to Westlake, and he was just the coolest dude ever.
Like those can be like really loud.
Yeah,
like they
right.
could be like dumb loud, and they feel really great.
To have someone that can really pick and identify what's important in my sound and mix far better beyond my capability, it just means that the content that I'm going to be releasing is above the standard that even I thought I could get it to. It's just so exciting, but there hasn't been a moment to step back and think, oh wow, that happened. It's like, what are we going to do next? How am I going to take this to the next level? But that's how it always should be, hopefully. Ultimately, I'm a controllerist, and I really do want to have control over everything, not just the audio. And so I see the future being incorporating things like the Novation launch control and being able to affect everything. I'm not just talking about the samples and the music, I'm talking about the lighting, you know, pyrotechnics, if I've got confetti cannons or CO2 canisters. I want to be the one pressing that button and giving the crowd that experience. So when they come to a show, they're there to see the M4SONIC show.